Look at the picture. See the skull. Visible Frankenstein controls. The Brain Thoughts broadcasting radio. The Frankenstein earphone radio. The latest new skull reforming to contain all Frankenstein controls.
Today's episode of Frankenstein Control is brought to you by Gracie Whitmore's House of Erotic Charades.
Huh. Okay. You got my attention.
Well, it's charades, so I can't talk about it.
Oh.
But I can demonstrate.
No, please do not. Oh my God, I wondered why he was wearing that robe.
Oh, you people are no fun. Anyway.
Oh, I can see it's one word.
I can see it's 1 inch, one word. Welcome to Frankenstein Control, everybody. I'm your host, Taylor Russell. To my right is heiress to the Whitmore fortune, Ada Ship.
Hello, I'm Eris Whitmore, and I've got conniptions. Because what else do you do?
What else do you do with this much money?
I'm being consumed by consumption.
Properly consumed. And in front of us, as always, is B-Rye.
I'm B-Rye, the dastardly gentleman caller who's after her fortune.
Lord Longshaft.
No, I refuse to go by that name.
No.
It was pretty good, though. You look at a history book and you'll find the storied history of the Longshaft estate.
Sure.
It was a long and hard life for them.
No.
Well fucking played. You got me there. Welcome, everybody. How you feeling? Have you recovered from Doolittle? We haven't.
I haven't, but I've been coping with the help of a bunch of new media things that have made me happy.
Oh, have you now?
Indeed. Well, to start with, one of my very favorite musicians, Sufjan Stevens, has a new album out. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure if it's quite an album or if it's just like 2 songs. He does things that way sometimes.
Yeah.
But his main new track is called America. But the B-side to it is really good, and it's called My Rajneesh, and I actually like that one even more. And it's like a 10-minute long thing with a bunch of weird horns and a beautiful lyrics. Classic Sufjan.
Yeah.
Everything that's, typical Sufjan. But in the middle of the song, he samples heavily from one of his previous songs called Vesuvius. Mm-hmm. And he uses the same... a lot of the same, basically. He basically just uses a part of that song in the middle of My Rajneesh. And I looked down in the comments section and someone had written, Vesuvius and My Rajneesh. It's more common than you think. And I was like, you and the internet.
I like how that meme's kind of made a resurgence.
It's great.
That was a really old one.
Real old.
2005 or 6 or whatever. That was the thing. And then recently people are just being like, things? In my thing?
It's more common than you think.
Just just a Gen Z resurrection of it.
It's funny.
Every time I hear the word Gen Z, I just think of Shenzi from The Lion King.
Oh,
I think about Whoopi Goldberg.
The hyena that was voiced by Whoopi Goldberg.
Mm-hmm.
Whoopsie Goldberg.
I think about Whoopsie Goldberg. And I'm like, what's she doing? She hosting The View still?
I think so. She's hosting The View and pissing off conservatives. And,
yay! Well then, good on her.
Yeah.
But Rajneesh, is that based off of Rajneesh Puran, the huge scam cult that happened in the 70s, 80s?
Oh, that there was that episode of Down the Rabbit Hole about?
Fuck yeah.
That was a great one. That's a fun. Stop watching us, ladies and gentlemen at home, and go watch that right now.
No, not yet.
We only have 3 viewers. Don't make them go away.
They'll be like, "Wow, this is way better than Frankenstein Control. Why did I even try on this?"
No. I'm really not sure what it's in reference to. I should do a little more digging. I've also just been tired and hot. But on top of that,
hopefully not in here.
No, here is fine. I don't want to leave. I don't want to go home. I don't want to go back to my. I don't want to go back to my hot house. I don't want to go back to the greenhouse I have to live in now.
But greenhouse there.
Additionally, a video game came out that I have been enjoying quite heartily.
Oh man, Hello Kitty's Island of Adventure.
Well,
Ghost
that
of
too.
Tsundere.
Ghost of Tsundere, yes. Ghost of Tsushima.
You want Ghost in the Shell?
There was a really good PS2 Ghost in the Shell game that was pretty fucking sweet back in the day. I actually really liked playing that. You could play as the Major, you could play as Bato. And there was one brief section where you got to control one of those weird little cyber bodies or prosthetic bodies that was just like the fucking cube with like the rolly wheels.
Oh.
You got to control one of those in a very brief section of one of the levels, and it was fun to control. And you could make that segment of the level. It was a comparatively short segment of the level, but you could make it last as long as you wanted to if you just didn't end it, and you just wanted to keep like driving around the little guy and jumping on
Be
shit.
one of those little floor cleaning droids in Star Wars.
And just driving around the little guy and jumping on
Roomba
shit.
Simulator.
Yeah.
There's actually a couple games that do that now. But Ghost of Tsushima is a game that was made for me. It was everything. It is not quite the Bankotsu Dynasty Warrior Simulator that is the game of my dreams.
It's close enough.
But it's close enough. Actually, it would be Samurai Warriors.
Oh.
Just make the original Samurai Warriors game from Koei from like 2005 or 6.
Just reskin it all with Inuyasha.
And just reskin it with Inuyasha characters. That's all I want.
Just band of 7 characters.
Just band of 7 characters.
Yeah, you don't want to play as Inuyasha or
maybe Sashomaru.
any other characters that I don't remember.
And instead of slaying fleets of guys who are under the command of Nobunaga Oda, instead you're just slaying bees. Naraku bees.
Yeah.
Just bees as you please.
You can't use the wind tunnel. There's bees in here.
Yeah, fucking the monk is the most useless character in that game because he can't suck up the bees. What's his name?
Moroku.
Ugh.
Getting back to it though.
Ghost of Tsushima.
They don't make a lot of samurai games, surprisingly enough. There hasn't been a good samurai and or ninja game. I would almost say this generation of consoles, because the last sort of good one was Tenchu Z, and that was back on the 360.
Everybody who likes Sekiro is like leaving a bad comment right now.
I do not like Souls-likes. I do not find
valid.
exercises in frustration to be fun.
You kind of have to be a masochist to enjoy them.
Yes.
Which is why we enjoy them. By the way, watch our Dark Souls 3 playthrough every Sunday.
Oh, yeah,
I actually have been watching that. It's been great.
Starring Billie Eyelash.
I've been enjoying that. I watched a little bit of it. You were a skeleton and you were using a big old axe and laughing at shit like you do. But the Sekiro and Nioh were two samurai games that I had high hopes for, and I don't like either of them. They're Souls-likes. They're really fucking difficult.
Yeah.
And it's just not my jam. There hasn't been like an open world adventure samurai game in a really long time. The last one I played
Was Samurai Pizza Cats the movie, the game?
No, it was Way of the Samurai 2 back on the PS2. Steven and I loved that game. We played the shit out of that game. That was a really fun game where you were a samurai. You had very limited character creation. You could choose your head and face and your body and outfit. And that was it. And you could...
So it was Morrowind.
Yeah, basically, yeah, it was. And that was good enough for me back then. That was good enough. And you came to this town, and the town was sort of... It wasn't like a huge game world. It was a bunch of different cells of the same town with sort of a... Not quite an isometric look-down thing, but it was still pretty good graphics, and you could wander around this town at will and do things, and there were scheduled activities that would happen at different times of day or night, and quests, and you could get involved with either the law-keeping magistrates or the Yakuza gang, and get in a bunch of sword fights and shit. And it was a fun game, and we played the shit out of that, and there hasn't been another like open world samurai game like that in a generation of consoles.
Yeah.
Actually, that was in two generations of consoles. So, and of course, there was also the Tenchu games like Tenchu Wrath of Heaven and Return from Darkness, whether you had it on PS2 or Xbox. But I am digressing by a large degree.
You got Samurai on the brain.
I got Samurai on the brain.
Samurai. B-Rai.
Coincidence? There is finally a samurai game on this generation of consoles, right before this generation of consoles ends.
Yeah.
With beautiful fucking graphics. It feels like you're riding around in Inuyasha, in feudal Japan. The countryside looks exactly like that. The villages all look like that you ride through. It's fun as fuck if that's, your aesthetic like it is mine.
I will say the grass in that game is gorgeous.
It's beautiful.
I want to roll around in it until I remember that grass is full of insects.
Yeah.
It has dirt
Arachnids.
underneath it.
It's also got really good blood and bodies, which are very important to me.
Mm-hmm.
And when you
Birai is a healthy individual.
Yes.
I am.
He has a healthy psyche.
And when you carve people up with your samurai sword, they look and feel really real, and it's very immensely satisfying to me. And I love it, and the combat is great, and you can learn all kind of new different stances and attacks and
Tiger stance.
and cool outfits and armor for your guy and
Like dancing stance.
everything I like.
Can you feed your boy?
I'm not sure.
You mean the horse?
No, your
samurai.
Your man.
Oh, you like have him eat onigiris and stuff?
I haven't.
I'm sorry, I mean powdered delicious donuts.
Yeah.
I want a donut.
I want a donut, Jesse. Oh no, they stole our donuts.
Weird digression, but how old do you think Jesse and James are in the anime?
I think they're like supposed to be probably. I always assume,
How old do you think they are?
If I know the anime itself, you gotta lowball it. So you gotta be like, they gotta be like 16 to 18 probably. Yeah.
They're 16, and I just remember watching that whole series and being like, they are adults.
Yeah.
They
They are
have
25.
access to money. They do things. They are villains, and yet they're children. It's just like, what the fuck?
How in the hell are? When I was like watching that when I was growing up, I was sure they were 25.
Yeah.
I would
Yeah.
at least. Nope, they're 16.
Not right.
I started watching JoJo's Part 3 again with Jen.
Ah, yes, an adventure of middle schoolers. I mean, high schoolers, whatever.
And like Jotaro's 17, but he looks like he's 35. And there's a scene where he's walking to school for the first time, and it kicks in for her, and she's like, "How old is he supposed to be?" I'm like, "Yeah, he's 17." She's like, "No, he's not. This guy's like 35. This is the issue where you have the American adult playing like your high school character, and he's twice as old as all his classmates."
Exactly that. Exactly that.
That's why he's a delinquent. He's been sent back 10 years.
But he's a good boy at heart.
He's old kid.
He's old
How's
kid.
it going?
Yes, JoJo is old kid.
That's why
Jotaro.
he's so uninterested in his female classmates, because he's way older than that.
Good. That's actually appropriate.
Yeah.
Yes,
And
thank you.
uncommon for anime.
Yeah.
Oh no.
It just makes me think of my joke about Morgana transforming back into a human again and being Jeffrey Epstein. Do all that work and bond with your boy, and then he gets his memories back, and he's
Ta-da!
old Jeffrey Epstein.
Surprise!
The Ghost of Tsushima, though, it's a historically accurate game to a degree. It's a work of historical fiction, obviously, but it takes place during the Mongol invasion of the island of Tsushima, which happened in feudal Japan in like the 1200 somethings. And
before they got killed by a monsoon tornado.
it might have been later on that invasion. I'm not sure, but I know that happened.
Do
at
you
one
get to
point.
control the monsoon? The
That'd
tsunami?
be really fucking cool if you
Typhoon.
could.
That's the word I
Typhoon.
was looking for. Typhoon. Thank you.
That would be
Big
really
water.
really fucking cool. That would be really fucking cool. But no, if you go around fighting the goddamn Mongolians all the time,
God.
it's the game of the goddamn Mongolians because they're
It's
everywhere.
Shitty Walk the Game,
Yep,
but instead it's in Japan.
and I swear, like after I was surveying the aftermath of one of my battles, and I was like, wow, these dead Mongolians look so real. I feel like I should apologize to them. It's like they're laying there dead. They just look like real guys who were struck down. I'm like, that's kind of
They are.
disturbing.
They look corpse-like.
This is not a history simulator. It's a magic future machine where you are doing all the things in real time in the past.
Oh God, it's end as a game.
Which means if you don't ever finish the game, then history never proceeds correctly.
Yes.
And all that stuff doesn't happen, and that means you're never born.
Oh wow.
Oh my God.
So you better keep playing.
You're as a direct descendant of one of the peasant women that you rescued from banditos.
right around the time.
That'd be so good if there were like one like hidden group of Mexican banditos amidst all the Japanese scenery, and just once, and it's completely unaddressed. You just run in them and are like, Capron! And then, and they like the pistols and the bandoliers in feudal Japan.
Yeah.
Never talked about in the game again. Nobody ever says anything about them. They're just a 1 in a million random spawn.
Your player character kills them and is like, huh. And that's it.
Somehow, the traditional Japanese flute that provides the soundtrack for the entire game, which FBM likened to the flute from Samurai X Trusted Betrayal, somehow like blows the
oh, come on now. We were teetering on the edge of racism, but now we're there.
I really want to hear that tune played on a flute. That would sound really fun.
Oh, that'd be really fun.
The fucking Naruto flute.
Mm-hmm.
That would actually make me happy to hear that.
But just when I was feeling bad about the realism of the dead man that I'd killed, I fought a duel in a thunderstorm.
Whoa.
I finished this quest to learn a new technique that I sort of stumbled upon by accident, and I fought a duel in the rain in the middle of a thunderstorm against this guy to learn a technique called the Heavenly Strike.
Damn.
And it was anime as fuck. It was samurai movie as fuck. It was awesome as hell. And it was like at this place where this great warrior is said to have defeated lightning beasts that once ravaged the land. So every time there's a thunderstorm, people place a sword at this place, like stuck down in the mud, to ward off lightning beasts ravaging the land again, as like an act of local superstition. So the entire time you're fighting the guy, lightning is striking these swords that are sticking up out of the ground all around the battlefield. And
whoa!
It was the coolest goddamn thing I'd ever seen.
That's some Slave Night Gale shit right there. Damn.
And I was thinking about how Red Dead went to a great deal to sort of make the quick draw duels pretty intense and feel pretty like cinematic and like, wow, I just did a thing.
So many times I've fucked up in those.
Oh yeah, they're hard.
Go for your gun, partner. I'm just dead.
Yeah.
Whoops.
Yeah. But that they tried really hard to make those feel cinematic as hell. And this really was cinematic as hell, like the duel. And there's a bunch of different duels like that you could fight all over the island in the game. It's like a special battle mode that you can.
There's a part where you fight the giant chicken. Oh, that's Sekiro. Sorry.
Sekiro Shadows Die Twice has the fucking giant chicken from Family Guy from all those tired old bits where he fights the...
I can't believe I've never seen that as a joke anywhere.
Yeah.
But
well, everyone's so fucking tired of it.
Yeah, there's like a cockatrice.
Ah.
There's cockatrices as enemies in Sekiro. Like, it's more than just... I've seen people play that game. I haven't played it myself because I kind of fall in the same camp as B-Rai, where like I watch a little bit of that game being played. I'm like... Yeah, I'm good at Dark Souls. I don't think I'll be good at this. I think I'll be right fucking stupid at this. Because I love Dark Souls 1, 2, and 3. I can't do Bloodborne, and I finally boiled it down to why. It just is very demanding, and the enemies have a bazillion HP, so it's demanding for a very long time.
Yeah.
And it's beyond me. And Dark Souls is, like, I think a bit more balanced in that respect, where it's demanding, but only for, like half the time, and I can be on my A game for that long, but it's just like, I can't do this. I just can't.
Yeah, you don't have Solaire to bail you out.
And I don't have Solaire to bail me out.
Well, it's funny noting, and I thought of this the entire time I was playing Ghost of Tsushima, that, how bad the Mongols are in the game and all that stuff. Clearly they're in the invaders and they're doing all this bad stuff. Well, the current, one of the main Yokozunas in sumo right now, who won the most recent tournament they had before they had to cancel all the remaining tournaments because of Ravir.
Yeah. Oh, fucking G-Dog Lopez?
His name is Haku.
Yokozuna G-Dog Lopez, sorry.
No, his name is Hakuho. And he's Mongolian.
My second guess.
He's Mongolian, so one of the main Yokozunas.
The ultimate revenge.
Yeah, he came there and he dominated their sport.
Wow.
So much so, and he's from a long line of Mongolian wrestlers too. But so much so that he actually attained Japanese citizenship.
Whoa.
But in order to do that, I guess Mongolia won't let you have dual citizenship, so he had to renounce his Mongolian citizenship, and it was a huge deal, and it like upset a bunch of people.
Wow.
And he like didn't want to do it until his dad died, and his dad was like, "You gotta forge your own path, son," and so he like did it.
Wow.
And so yeah, he has Japanese citizenship, and he's
Follow your dreams. Do not lose the empire. Ah!
Follow your dreams of the Japanese.
His father was Genghis.
Genghis?
Genghis Khan.
Genghis Khan.
Which apparently that's how it's pronounced, I learned.
Really?
Yeah. Apparently the way that sounds right is wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And he was named Jingle Bells Khan. Like, what the fuck? You learn something new every day, and sometimes learning ain't fun. But anyway, you don't fight giant chickens. Do you fight horrifying monkeys? Because that's what you do in Sekiro. Yes, I'm not joking. I thought I was like listening to a meme video at first when I was watching somebody do a playthrough of Sekiro, and all of a sudden, just like, you know, I'm distracted, and then I just hear like clang clang, and I'm like, what the fuck? And he's fighting a monkey. He's fighting a monkey, and it's like, what the fuck is this game?
Did the monkey have a sword?
I can't remember. I was too distracted by the fact that it was a monkey.
Yeah, sometimes you just gotta fight a monkey.
It's
just how life is.
But do you fight apes?
I haven't fought any yet.
Oh, okay.
Just been bandits and Mongolians.
So I
I'm waiting
assume
on bated breath.
there's not really a fantasy aspect of this game. It's all fairly realistic.
Historically accurate,
Okay.
yeah.
Great
Unless there's
samurai
like,
realism.
if there is anything like that, it's got to be an Easter egg, because they did try to go for historical
Yeah.
accuracy.
Except with the whole awesome fucking lightning bolts striking swords around you while you duel in the rain.
Yeah,
That's not historically inaccurate. That's physically inaccurate.
That's a good point.
That's just really fucking cool.
It's just really, I'm not bashing it by any stretch.
They're
The chances are they're taller than the swords in the ground, so they probably would have got struck instead.
I know.
That would have made for a real short fight, or it would have made, oh my god, you two square off, and then like the minute you draw your sword, you're like, shing, and the other guy gets struck by lightning because he has his sword raised, and your guy is convinced the whole rest of the game that he's a wizard. He's like, I fucking did it, dog. I'm the god of lightning.
oh man, I thought of something funny, and then I lost
I
it
erased
again.
your memory. I'm sorry. I Robert Downey'd you.
Oh God, it's just a clean, intact bagpipes.
Are there clean, intact bagpipes in this Tsushima game?
I hope to God not.
I mean, I saw you roll up on an encampment.
Mhm.
Like when we were visiting you in your hot apartment.
Yeah.
Well, it's not an apartment anymore. It's a house.
Yeah, your
My
hot
house.
house.
In your
my
greenhouse.
hothouse.
Well, we were visiting your greenhouse, and we were all three of us bunched together on a tiny couch. I watched you roll up on this Mongolian encampment, and you were just fucking shit up. And I was really impressed by how gorgeous the game looked.
Oh yeah, it looks
I was
fantastic.
like, wow, this is some next level shit. And of course, it's this late into the PS4's lifespan, so this is when the developers are really cracking,
so you
cracking the code.
Better be nice at this point.
Yeah, exactly.
They finally realized how to make it look great right before they never make them again.
That's
always
every
how it
console
happens.
cycle.
Yeah.
I know.
But, I mean, hey, at least you got it. At
I
least
did.
At least the game has happened.
I got it. It's fun.
At least they didn't say, like, save it for PS5 Des. And you're like, God damn it, Des. And then they're like, $599 Desuka.
Yeah. Oh. boy.
Giant enemy crab. What game was that advertising?
Giant enemy crab.
I don't remember.
Probably God of War. I don't know.
I know that Bethesda put a giant enemy crab in Oblivion as a direct reference to that.
There is a giant enemy crab. I forgot about that.
Mhm.
All I remember of giant animals in that game is the giant
Slaughterfish that scares the
slaughterfish.
shit out of you.
Yes. Oh my god, it's so unfair. Like, you drop down this horrible hole, and before you have any time to react, you're face to face with a shark-sized fish of death, and you're like, ah! And it's legitimately made me shit myself the first time.
Slaughterfish are normal enemies when you go into the water, but they're usually like 2 to 3 feet long. And then abruptly out of nowhere, you fight one the size of like a horse.
Wow.
And it just comes at you. But the thing is that I don't think it has any more health than a regular one. So it still like comes after you like, ah! And you just like reflex fire your spell, and it's just like.
Then again, B-Ray, you could have just got it with your death spell and not know how much HP it ever had.
I probably did get it with the death spell, in which case, fuck you, that's irrelevant.
Oh, the death spell. That's why they don't have spell crafting in Skyrim.
Because I exploited it with the death spell.
Yeah, people were making death spell. Although it was really funny to watch people die from it.
It was
such a slow animation.
Yeah.
But speaking of slow animations, in Tsushima, those animations ain't slow.
They're blisteringly fast.
It's pretty cool. Like watching the duel part, I think is the coolest shit I saw in that game. I was like, yo, this game is cool, man. Like, just it feels like a fucking samurai showdown. You really feel like you're Batman. No, it does though. It feels like you're in a fucking Kurosawa film. It's crazy.
At the difficulty selection mode,
well, actually, the fights in Kurosawa films are just as goofy as all other black and white movies. So like, whatever. But like the cinematography of it, and it's reminiscent of like if Kurosawa could do this in his day, he probably would have.
At the difficulty selection, there's a mode called Kurosawa mode, and it actually makes the game be in black and white with Japanese dialogue and English subtitles. And while that is actually really cool, you also lose out on the gorgeous visuals of like the fields of flowers and shit.
Yeah.
So
You don't see the pretty colors.
it's a double-edged.
You see the pristine fields of green grass swaying gently in the wind, and you're like,
So it's a double-edged sword, unlike a
must be
katana.
outside. But yeah, it looks cool.
It's a lot of fun. I'm really enjoying myself.
Let me know when you bust out crab stance.
Crab stance.
Yes, when you learn crab stance.
You scuttle sideways and
You scuttle sideways and you hold 4 swords, 2 in each hand, and they're like facing away from each other, but they're katanas, so they look like crab claws.
that's
And it's just like, fucking come at me, Broseph. And all the Mongols are like, no, I'm out of here. Fuck this. This is too much. I can't deal.
so you're basically Hachi the Octopus Man from One Piece.
Oh, yeah.
Fucking love Hachi. He's a good boy. He was the only good boy in Arlong's crew.
Yeah.
He was the only guy to not be a bad guy in there.
Yeah. I remember him. I liked him.
Hachi. And it led to one of the coolest scenes of the show where Luffy punches that universe's President Trump in the face, and it's awesome. And it's fucking Gurren Lagann as fuck in the anime. They like switch to like black and white super sketchy mode. You're like, what the fuck? Damn! It was a punch heard around the world. Oh, B-Ride, what have you done? You ruined the podcast.
That was my iPad updating. I was hoping it was a call from my fucking the people who are supposed to be fixing my damn
Your aircon?
AC, who aren't going to be able to get here till Friday.
Oh, you're going to be such a sweaty boy.
I don't
Take
understand.
Lots of cold showers.
I don't understand why they can't do it faster than that.
Hopefully, by the time this episode airs, you'll have cold air.
Oh.
Good God, I better, because I'm living somewhere else.
You want to spend the night here? You can. Just be noisy and you have to listen to me masturbating.
I got to take a shower and straighten my hair.
We got a shower. You just got to take it with me.
Yeah, it's a requirement of guests staying here. Taylor has to wash you.
With a delicate sponge.
I want a bathmate with a smooth
He wears
sponge.
clothes and everything. It's not like it's not
sexual.
Yeah, it's not
just
a sex thing.
Yeah, it's just efficient. Because I wash my clothes too.
You have to wear his clothes while he washes you.
And I have to wear yours. It's an elaborate.
You'll rip them all.
I'll rip out of those like the Incredible Hulk. I'll Hulk out of your clothes, B-Right.
There's some sad show, miniseries on HBO now that stars Mark Ruffalo as like a pair of twins, identical twins, and one of them,
yeah, I heard about
one of them has like paranoid schizophrenia or something, and he's like he thinks he's a burden on his healthy twin, and his healthy twin's like, it's not like that, bro. I gotta save you and shit. Don't have another
brother.
Don't have another breakdown, and don't have another breakdown while the sad beach house song plays in the trailer. And I don't know what the show is called. I do. It's called I Know This Much Is True, but I just refer to it as the Sad Hulk Show because it stars Mark Ruffalo and it's sad.
I thought it was called Roughing It with Ruffalo Twins.
Ruffling it with them Ruffalo boys.
Ruffaloing it with the Twinzos. That sounds weird. Hey.
Most of the things we say sound weird.
That's also true. Hey, B-Rai, do you have a schizophrenic twin in Ghost of Tsushima?
I don't believe you do, but that would be an interesting...
Nice little plot twist.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
Do you face enemies that are not Mongols? Do you face other samurai?
There's the duels and stuff that you encounter across the island are usually with other samurai or other people who for some reason have reason to duel you. I think that's how you unlock a lot of secret techniques and new outfits and stuff.
Those dual dudes in the mountains.
As doing stuff like that.
Do you ever fight any ghosts?
No ghosts that I've seen so far, but I did fight a bunch of bandits who were pretending to be ghosts.
That's pretty funny. I like that. Tell us about that.
There's a quest where you go to this village called Yagata Farmstead, and they're like, the forest on the edge of town is haunted by spirits, and it's spooky and freaks us the fuck out, man, and people keep disappearing in there. And your guy's like, well, it's war. I mean, that's probably going to happen. People go missing in war. It's bad shit. Mm-hmm. And they're like, please investigate it for us, but also don't investigate it for us because you'll disappear too. And he's like, well, here I go. And
I'm back at it at the Krispy Kreme.
Here I go, being a video game protagonist.
Yeah, and so you got to go investigate the forest at night. And you find a hut with obvious signs of a struggle, and it's someone who used to live in the forest, and all their stuff is ransacked, and they have notes about hearing voices in the woods, and it's spoopy. And then you search around some more, and you start finding decapitated bodies.
Oh,
and you find campsites that have been raided, and the people's heads have been cut off. And then you find decapitated bodies hanging from trees.
Golly!
And your guy, who has balls of steel, folded 80,000 times.
Ooh, that would not feel good.
No. He's like, this...
To emerge from it stronger.
Honey, it's time for your 4 p.m. ball folding.
Oh.
Yes, ma'am.
He's basically
he balls of steals it into the shack.
He balls of steals, and he's basically like, this is clearly the work of people.
An enemy stand.
Yeah, he's like, this is the work of people who are trying to make people think they're spirits and freak people the fuck out. This is just shitty old people doing this. And then you
ain't no goddamn ghost.
Yeah, and then you find this campsite, and you can overhear these bandits, and they're like, we have the whole forest to ourselves now because see, this shit actually works, and dressing up and scaring a bunch of teens and their Great Dane doesn't. And now old man Hajime can sell the land.
Oh my god. Old man Hajime.
And I would have gotten away with it too if it weren't for you meddling samurai and your talking dog, and your character's like, what the fuck? And there's just a dog who's like, hey, I'm a dog!
And you're like, ah!
And then you never see him again.
His name is Ruffalo. Mark Ruffalo.
Yeah.
Mark Ruffalo, the talking Shiba Inu.
He's not voiced by Mark Ruffalo.
No.
He doesn't really talk. You just think he does because you're schizophrenic. But yeah, basically, long story short, he's like, hey, guess what? I'm crashing your bandit party. And they're like, oh, no, you don't. Oh, no, you don't. And then 3 sword slashes later, they're like, we're defeated. And he's like, the problem is over. Let me inform the village. And they're like, well, that had us all really spooked. We thought it was really ghosts. Makes a lot more sense that it's fucking bandits. And then presumably the problem is over.
Yep.
Hopefully. And then you go back and everyone's just dead.
Yeah.
Speaking of being dead, B-Rye, it's time for your bath.
Oh.
Come on, let's switch clothes and get in the tub. Come on, honey.
I'd rather take the bath than the ball folding.
Well, that's part of it.
That's
anyway,
next.
Well, yeah, Ada's in charge of that one.
No!
I'm not proud of it.
Get the Smith and Hammer.
Now even you know I am a menace. I hand you the secrets to save the entire human race and the entire universe.